keep the energy up. You get we get this workout. Hey, all right, we're doing nine. Let's go. We're doing 45 minutes of live sensual stretching. Start right now. To build consistency, to build some good habits, and to do this together. So it's a little more fun. There's some good times. And hopefully we'll make some progress together. All right, let's get started with our exercise about moving your leg, this full range of motion using your own muscles. It looks a little bit like this. Let's talk about it. You want to hang directly up in front, opening directly to the side, lift that rotate so that the ankle is as high as possible. Keep the knee free. Bring the leg back down. Try to bring the knee behind the same. Feel the stretch. Feel the contraction in the hamstring. Feel the contraction in the glutes. And feel the nice pressure in the hips. Give me a second. I have been told it was absolutely too loud.
One of the live stream platforms.
Is there audio now? I guess I should keep that just back up. Okay. Whew. Good press. That was demonstration for me. Let's do 10 90. Open up. And sorry guys, give me a moment. I'm going to go to your phone and take
Bluetooth. Man. Why? Why is it like this? Alright, new earbud connected to YouTube live stream. We'll see if that's working. In the meantime, let's get some hip cars done. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I think that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and half rep 10. Okay, there is still no audio. Great, just fantastic. Let's try this again. Why am I struggling so hard? No, it's not connecting at all. I believe that is because it is connecting to a whole bunch of computers right now, and not to the devices that I actually want to connect to. So I'm going to shut down the computer and see if it does better. Please help me out. Man. Sorry for the delay, TikTok. I got one last solution, and that solution is last. Okay, let's try that again. I hope that is working. And now we can finally get back to some hip cars. Whew, sorry for the wait. Thank you for the patience. I hope your one leg is still pretty warmed up because we are going to move on into the second leg now. Let's go. High knee, Oh man, I'm immediately off balance. Relax, de-stress. Cool. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I think that's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, hip cars going forward. Let's do hip cars going back. Whew, let's go. They look like this. We're bringing the leg back. Hamstrings, glutes are flexed, feeling the stretch of the front of the hip flexor. We're lifting directly to the side. We're trying our best to keep that ankle really, 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 really high. We're going to rotate that leg down so that the ankle is down. And then finally, bring the knee forward. Same exact movements we were just doing, just in reverse order. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I think I started on 1, so I have to finish the 10th rep. That's 10 on the left hip. Give yourself a little light massage if you need it. And let's keep going on the other side. Back, side, ankle, knee. Ooh, that's my first crack of the day. And the second one feels good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, and 10 and a half in case I miscounted. All right, that is the hip cars. We are all done with those. Grab a sip of water, and we're going to move right on into the elephant walks. All right. Elephant walks look a little bit like this. We are folding kind of in half-ish, trying to bring the belly button down to the legs. We're feeling the stretch get more intense in the hamstrings, and that's it. We're just chilling here. This is the warm-up. You can just hang. Okay. Hang here. Breathe. Keep on feeling the hamstring stretch get more and more intense as you get deeper into a belly button down-ish position. If you're a little bit higher up and you're over here and your hamstrings are still on fire, that's totally okay. As long as your hamstrings are working, that's all we care about. All right. Whew. Now that we've been here for a little bit, let's start doing a little bit of movement. I want you to bend one knee, straighten the other leg, and I want you to switch legs nice and slow. Focus on keeping that belly button really low to the ground. And when you're doing these knee shifts from side to side, start feeling all sorts of sensations in the hamstring-ish areas. Those muscles are going to start shifting around because your hamstring is not just one muscle. We call it and we talk about it as if it is one, but there are 3 muscles, and one of them is a bicep because it's the same thing as in our arms except in the back of our leg. And so there's like 4 ropes in the back of your leg of different lengths connected at different places, starting to shift around, helping you move your leg. And when you are in this very tight position, when they move around, you'll really feel it. So that's what we are doing. We're getting those hamstring muscles to their end range of motion, forcing them to move around a little bit, and you might even feel a little bit of a tingly sensation right underneath your butt cheeks. And that is where the hamstrings connect. They connect into the bottom of the hips, into the sits bones. So that tingly sensation is probably just your hamstrings moved around and saying hello. Okay, we done a bunch of those. Let's move on and come into some rotation. We're going to keep that same position that we were just in. Legs not too wide apart, folding forward, bending one knee. Right now my left knee is bent and I'm going to take my left hand. Sorry, I said my left knee is bent. I'm taking my left hand, putting it on the outside of my right leg, pushing a little bit to help my chest rotate to the right, sticking my right arm up into the air, looking at the hands, looking at the fingers behind me, and coming back down. Doing the same on the other side. My right knee is bent, my left leg is straight, my right hand is pushing against my left leg to help open up the chest to the left. Sticking my left hand in the air, my head is rotating left to look at the hands. Breathe in, come down. We're gonna do 5 of these. Let's go. As you get more comfortable with these, remember we want a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So take a nice big deep breath and see if you can bring your belly button lower while you're doing this. So we're here. Breathe. Bring the belly button down. Oh man. You might feel it in your obliques because you're a little rotated, you're a little twisted, and now you're trying to bring your belly button down. And that's okay. That's cool. That is perfect. Oh, I have absolutely no idea how many of these we've done. I think that was 3. But this is 4. And that makes this number 5. Whew. I hope your shoulders are feeling looser. Hope your spine is feeling a little bit more mobile after that. Because we're moving on. It's time for some Cossack switches. For the Cossack switch, I don't know why this is here. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I don't even think you could see in the camera, so I don't know why I did that, but that's okay. Cossack switches look like this. We are opening up our legs to about 2-3 times our hips width. It's not super critical. You get this perfect. We're going to point our toes out roughly 30 to 45 degrees. Just kind of, point them out to the corners of the room. Then we're going to try to do our best to drop down to one side. Your body might make a whole bunch of noises. I don't know if it hurt my ankle, just went out. But that's pretty normal. From here, I want you to make sure your knees are traveling in the same direction as your toes are pointing. So if your toes are pointing here, I want your knees to travel in that direction. All right? I want you to try your best to bring your knees over your toes. I want you to feel that stretch in the Achilles tendon, in the calves. I want you to feel the pressure in the front of the ankle, and I want you to feel the pressure in the hip. If you're doing this right, your quads are probably also firing really hard and going, what the heck? How long are you going to hold this for? That is good. Try your best to get deeper and sit into it and get into a position where your quads are not firing. See if you can get to a point where your heel is pretty close to the ground, maybe within an inch of the ground, and hang out like this, because that will make it so your quads are way less tired. Otherwise, your quads are going to have to fire really, really hard to keep you in a standing-ish position. Cool? Once you're kind of here, we're just going to contract all that and keep the pressure on the joints, basically to help stretch it out slowly over time. We're going to talk about this leg right here. We got the heels down, the toes up, and the knees up. This is called external leg rotation. The leg is rotating to the outside of the body. And we need this for the side splits. And basically, what's happening right here from our mid-body to the leg is a side split. You're able to do this really well. So you should be able to get into the same position, but with both legs in a little bit. Cool? All right. We've hung out there. Let that leg stretch out. Let's get our butts to the other side and be a little fair to the other leg. You can put your hands down to help shift your weight to the other side. And same thing, we're trying to feel the pressure in the front of the ankle. We're trying to feel the stretch in the Achilles and the calves. We're trying to put a little bit of pressure on the hips. The knee is traveling in the same direction as the toes. You can put your arms on your leg to make it a little easier to stay stable and to use less energy in your lower back to keep upright. And I want you to try your best to keep the heels low to the ground. But if you're tired and you take a break, you can just drop down like so and have your heels come up. Cool. So we got 2 positions. Trying to push your knee forward with your heels down on the ground for stability. And then when that gets too tiring, you can drop down, relax a little bit, have your heels come up, and sit down into that position to rest. Cool. So on this leg, we're doing the same thing. It's basically a side split. The leg is externally rotating. The heels are down, the knees are up, and the toes are up. That is a whole bunch of explanation. Now we're going to start moving from side to side. And it's going to be that exact movement that we just used to get from right to the left. We're going to keep doing it. Let's do 10 reps today. Really warm up those hips. You can take them very slow. You can take them very gentle. Put your hands down. Give yourself a lot of support in front of you. If you're feeling real strong, you can remove your hand and use the rest of the body's muscles to help stabilize a little bit. And if you're feeling extra strong, you can try to stand up really straight with your abs to chest to head areas. Stick your arms out in front of you and go from side to side like so. So those are 3 versions. You can kind of fold forward and keep your chest low. You can put your hands down while folding forward to keep your chest low. And you can try to keep that chest really upright. Maybe extend your hands for balance. And I said we just do 10, but I have not been counting. I hope you've been counting. How many are 10? I feel like I'm getting close because all of a sudden my hamstrings on this leg feel like they're moving much smoother. And I think that's a good sign that our warm up can end. Whew, okay. Whew. That is our warm up. We are done with those. Shake out those legs, pound the hips, give yourself a little bit of light massage. I don't know if you can call this light massage. Pound out those hips. We are working super hard. Shake out the leg. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake, 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 shake. Whew. That, my friends, is our warm up. I'm going to come over to the chat real quick, check on things because I haven't looked at it since our microphone technical difficulties. Over here on YouTube, someone has asked, "Hello, India here. Where are you from?" That, I'm from the US. Over on TikTok, the most recent comment is, "That's the warm up." Smiley face. Or maybe a shocked face. Oh, I don't know how I did this. Hey, that was totally an accident on my part. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just no. How did this happen? Hold on. Do. Decline. Nope. Can you stop sending invites real quick? I'm trying to hit some settings. Give me a second. No, just very aggressively getting invites. All right, what's this button do? No. I actually Googled this the other day to see if I can, boom, do that. Nice. Okay. Whew. I figured it out this time. My algorithm brings you to me at 9:30 usually. Oh no. Okay, let's see. If you do get the video at 9:30, Joni, you can actually probably still join in because we've been running about an hour, and that means there's probably another 15-20 minutes of stretching that you can do. Joni says, "It's my first time doing it and everything hurts." That does it still hurt? Because we've been we've been taking a little bit of a break, trying to figure out how to kick the guy I accidentally shared the screen with on TikTok. Are you still feeling pain, as in your body's going, "No, don't do that ever again," or is it more like, "Oh, okay, that was a little bit rough. Maybe I need more practice"? Because those are kind of two different feelings. This one move got you a follow, yes sir. Thank you. All right, scrolling all the way back to the top, it looks like Art can hear, CP can hear. Yes, I'm sorry. The TikTok audience, I was connected with an AirPod on an Apple device doing the live, and it worked flawlessly. On my other device, which is also an iPhone, it was an Android earbud, and it gives me technical difficulties a lot. So I connected an actual microphone to that one, and hopefully we're not having issues there anymore. And from the complaints or lack thereof on YouTube, we are not. So that is good. Martin05916 says hello from Scotland. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And we got confirmation the audio is indeed good now. Joni says, maybe I need more practice. I haven't exercised for a while. That could be it. But keep an eye on it. And let me know how it goes at the end so I remember to make sure that you're checked up on. Cool. Gina Manning says, my first time doing this instead of watching. That's amazing. You am I entertaining enough to have you watch the live without actually doing it? That's really cool to know. That's a very good vote of good energy confidence. So I appreciate you letting me know. But I am so proud of you. Thank you for finally joining in and doing some exercising. Anna says, you're very entertaining. Wow, man, this is a great morning. I'm having a great time. Okay, let's get into some stretches. We are doing some hamstring stretches. And what you need to grab, or what I recommend you grab at least, is a cushion. This cushion does not have to be a cushion. If you can't find something to use in this exact moment, you can grab a sneaker that you don't care as much about. If you're a sneakerhead, maybe this will make you cry. But you can smash your knee into that and get a little bit of protection there. If you have, I guess, a yoga block, technically that will work just fine. A little tiny bit of cushion is good. And finally, I have done some laundry. So I got a set of folded towels here. You can roll that up, throw it under your knee. This is a clean towel. I'm not going to put it on the floor to demonstrate, but you get the point. All right. Once you've got your knee protection, let's get started. We are trying to point our hips, our shoulders, our head all in one direction, directly in front. And now we are trying to stick that leg out in front as well. We're getting to a hamstring stretch. It's going to look like this. We're trying to bring the belly button down towards the thigh. And from the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. I want you to try to pull the leg in to the hip so that you can focus on the one thing that we're doing, which is the hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings should tighten up. They should be a little bit unhappy with you. And I want you to try to breathe. Inhale. Slow exhale and deepen into the stretch. Take some normal breaths. Relax for a second. And let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Once you are as deep as you can get, try your best to straighten out your spine a little bit. If it's just the upper half of your back that's rounding, that's fine. Try to keep your low back pretty straight. Cool? 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. I'm wondering how I accidentally invited the other person into the TikTok live again. And I really feel like all I did was scroll through the chats. How did I press a button? And how is the screen so sensitive? It was like, that's not a scroll. That's definitely inviting somebody into the live. Must be intentional. Okay. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Oh, come on up. Come on up and out of that hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings probably feeling it. Intense contractions for a little bit there, but it should go away in like the next 2 seconds. Come up into standing, shake it out for like 2 steps, and if the pain does not go away, if the discomfort does not go away, then you might need to get that checked out, because it really should. Okay, moving on. Let's go ahead and get into the same position on the other leg. Our hips are pointed forward, shoulders are pointed forward, head's pointed forward, extending the leg out in front. We don't want to turn this into a front split, so pull that hip back into the socket and focus on the hamstring stretch. Bring the belly button down. Feel it tighten up in the leg. Massage it if you like. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. And let's do the inhale exhale thing. Inhale. Slow exhale. Try to get deeper into the stretch. Oh man, that was tough. Feeling it in my calf now, in the ankle. One more time, let's go. Inhale. Exhale. If it ever sounds like my inhale is really not very impressive, that's because I talk so much, so I have to maintain a certain amount of air in my chest in order to make noises. And yeah, the inhale is going to sound sad, but the exhale can sound much better. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. If you have achy knees and you're feeling a lot of pressure in your knees, you can bend that knee just a little bit and focus on bringing your chest down to the leg first and then straightening out that last little bit. Cool. I completely forgot what I counted to. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. Okay, we're done with the hamstring stretch. We're only doing one round of 30 seconds. If you're new, you might not have known that. If you're a regular, then you knew we're done with the hamstring stretch. So you can get rid of the cushion. We can move right on. And if you are enjoying the live, I hope you are following. I hope you're subscribed. I hope that you are ready to come back because we do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And the goal is to build some community, hang out, have a good time while we stretch so that makes it easier to keep coming back and make a bunch of progress together. Whew, that was the first stretch. We're moving on to the second stretch. You need to get your butt to a wall. Let's go. This right here is my friend, the wall. We are sticking our hips, our shoulders, our head right up against that wall, keeping this nice straight posture. We're grabbing those feet, pulling them in, and this is what the butterfly stretch basically looks like. Our knees are way up high over here, and we are trying to bring them down to the ground to open up the groin muscles, everything in the center here. And I want you to get stronger while you do this. So don't just stretch, contract your muscles. Flex those biceps, except the biceps of the leg. What we're going to do is actually completely unrelated to the biceps of the legs. That example, we're going to strengthen the outside of our legs, and we're going to strengthen our glutes, and we're going to use them to pull open our groin. All right? That sounds really vague and confusing. How do you even flex those muscles? That is a very good point. It is really hard. So focus on trying to bring your knees down to the ground and experiment with that until you figure it out, because it's going to be really hard to teach you how to contract one single muscle in the leg when you've never done that before. So you just got to play with it. All right. I don't think I could teach it anyway. I have no idea how to even begin to talk about it. So you experiment and try to bring those knees down to the ground. I like to flex the glutes, and whatever I'm doing to the outside of the legs, if I'm just poking my thigh, it feels like it's like the upper outside of the thigh that's contracting. All right, once your knees are as low to the ground as you can get for today, or for this moment, I want you to take your hands and I want you to apply a little bit of pressure and really give them a nice solid push. The back of your head, your shoulders should start feeling a lot of pressure from the wall, and that's basically the wall going, whoa, 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 where are you trying to go? I see you applying pressure to your legs, and now you're trying to lean back too. No leaning for you. That's going to make your stretch less good. So the wall here is your best friend. It's giving you a lot of support, and it's keeping you from losing that force because you're falling backwards. Cool. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Keep on contracting those muscles. Try your best to open up your hips. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. It doesn't sound like I'm breathing, but you need to be breathing. And breathing will help you relax. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, you can let the hands go. You might have forgotten how to do that because we've been holding this for so long. So take a second to just move your legs manually and give them a little bit of time to adjust back to normal, because you start flexing all these weird muscles and you're flexing for so long, sometimes your legs just forget how they're supposed to work. And that is also pretty normal. If you have, as a kid, gone into a door frame and then you try to stick your arms into the door frame and push really hard, and all of a sudden, after like a minute, your arm just starts floating up. It's the same principle. When you start flexing the leg muscles a ton going down, your legs are going to want to open up and they're going to get confused and they're going to be like, what, you're trying to not go down anymore? What's happening? So same principle. I hope I haven't super dated myself and realized that, no 4-year-old does this anymore, but that's okay. We're gonna move on. What do we just come out of? Butterfly stretch. Let's go into some standing pancake. Standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs. It doesn't have to be super wide. The goal is to fold at the hips with the legs kind of open. From the side, it'll look a little bit like this. This is our starting position. It looks like you're just trying to touch your toes, except your legs are a little bit wide open. All right? From here, and you should not feel any discomfort at this point. You don't have to have your legs out way wide and be like, oh, my hips already hurt and I haven't even started from the starting position. You don't gotta go that deep. All right? From here, the goal is to fold the belly button down. We only care about the belly button because the belly button is right at the top of the hips. So everything is about the belly button. Everything's about the hips. This is hip mobility. All right? And, ooh, we're trying to bring down. Down, 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 down. You might want to focus on what's going on with my head, with my shoulders, with my chest, and while it's helpful in general, the back is designed to be able to bend, it's designed to be able to move, and it's going to be deceptive. So focus on what my belly button is doing. Cool? At the bottom of your pelvis, you got your little sits bones right here in your butt. I want you to imagine pointing them up and back at a diagonal behind you. I want you to imagine the tops of your hips pointing forward and down, and I want you to aim for that position that will help you fold forward. Okay, that's it. I've been hanging for way too long. Blood is rushing to my head. Let's go do our 30 seconds. You can extend your arm to make it harder. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, more technical difficulties, sorry, flustered all of a sudden, smashed into the wall. And where am I going with this? Instead of falling all the way to the floor and making our butt hurt real bad, or even worse, smashing our head into the ground, our butt and our shoulders have taken most of the burden. Cool? So that is the wall. And again, this is your best friend. It is the support that will never leave you. Go ahead and get into this extended, stretched out, open leg position because we're starting with the side splits. Cool? Oh, when you are here, and when you're pretty deep, you can't get any deeper, fold forward, put your hands down, like you're going to do a little bit of a push-up. We're taking some of the weight in our legs, putting them in front of our body into our arms so that it's a little easier on our legs to externally rotate. External rotation is your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Cool? From here, you might be able to wiggle yourself into a slightly deeper stretch right off the bat, but if you can't, that's okay. I want you to try your best to walk your hands back towards your hips. The weight that we put over there to make it easier to rotate the legs, we're putting right back into the legs, and the intensity of the stretch is going to increase. Whew. And then from here, I want you to try one last wiggle from side to side to see if there's just a little bit of friction on your feet holding you back from a deeper stretch. Oh, once you cannot get any deeper, let's start at 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Lean forward. Walk your hands out in front of you. Pull your legs in. Oh, they're going to be a little unhappy with you, and that's okay. It's part of the process. Wiggle around. Shift the hips. Do whatever you got to do to get your legs to feel slightly more normal. And then try to come back into standing. What we just did was contract a whole bunch of muscles in our legs until they felt like they were going to break apart underneath us on the floor. So what we want to do now is do the opposite of that. We want to relax. We want to get the other microphone is running out of battery, and I'm having more mic issues on YouTube. Let me replace that mic with another. And there we go. It's back. Okay. Just make sure the original one is turned off fully so there's no random sounds. Double recording. And where am I going with this? Tension is like that. You got the tension that you create when you're like, I'm gonna flex this bicep. And then you have the tension that exists because your brain is subconsciously controlling a whole bunch of stuff so that you don't have to think about it, right? In stretching, we have a thing called a stretch reflex. And basically, that's your brain going, whoa, that's dangerous. Don't do that. That's super scary. No, 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 no. Right? Is your nagging parent. And it's going to tighten up all these muscles in your leg and make it really hard for you to do the thing that you want to do, side splits. So we're talking about relaxation because we want you to try to master and control the tension when your brain has stopped doing the stretch reflex. We want to get rid of all of the symptoms, right? We want to be like, okay, there's no reason for your stretch reflex to be on. Let's relax as much as possible. So the next time I try to get into the stretch, I have the best possible starting point. That's the gist of it. Cool. We have now relaxed, given our bodies quite a bit of time to chill out. So let's do some quick joint checks, make sure everything is moving smoothly, and then we will get into round 2 of the side splits. We're gonna do some hip circles. You can do left and right real quick. Lift those knees real high. Just a couple of light ones just to make sure your joints and your muscles are coordinated and working together. Put a little pressure in your knees, put a little pressure in your ankles, come up onto those toes, do some calf raises. And if those all work, you're probably fine. We can continue. Let's go. Get close to that wall for safety, your best friend. Open up those legs, nice and wide. Sink deeper into the stretched position. And fold forward. Put your hands down like you're going to do a push-up to put a little bit less tension into your legs so that you can externally rotate, so that your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. From here, walk your hands back towards your hips. It's going to get a lot more intense. And I want you to do one last wiggle from side to side. This is more like 4 wiggles. 4 last wiggles from side to side to get a little bit deeper. Break that last little bit of friction holding you back. And it's time. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. I don't know what's going on today. My butt keeps on hitting the door and I can hear it like ringing down the hallway. I feel really bad. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. If anything is feeling a little too intense, you can always shift your weight forward or back to change the stretch a little bit. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk those hands forward. Crawl your way out of that stretch. Slowly bring your legs in. Oh, and take a break. Relax. Sip some water if you have it easily accessible. I'm searching for mine. Didn't find it. It's way over there, so I'm gonna just not. Come back into standing when you got a chance, and let's do some shaking. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And relax those leg muscles. You can, now that we've talked about shaking for the legs, you can also add in your arms. They're not quite as stressed out as your legs are, but they are supporting your body weight and you're holding a lot of tension for the stretch. So give them some love. Let them shake, let them loosen, let them wiggle as well. This shaking, flopping, wiggling, loosening principle applies to any time you're going to put a lot of contraction into your muscles. So if you're lifting weights, you're doing some intense exercises and you're taking like a 2-minute rest or something like that, you can add in the shake. I know it's going to look a little silly, but I promise you can test it out when you get there and you start doing your reps. If you take the time to really loosen up and get rid of some of the tension in your biceps, in your arms, in your shoulders, in your legs, you'll be able to do a little bit more with those muscles. Cool? All right. Once you feel like you've already shaken down your legs, they're kind of more or less back to normal. I want you to focus a little bit on the hip. All right? We're doing some stanky leg. We're doing some, I don't know what this move is called, honestly, but this thing. And we just want the hip to rotate in and out and for you to get that little bit of range of motion. If you are a little embarrassed of doing that for some reason, we can do hip cars. That's fine. It's basically the same. And you might even notice that your hip cars feel really good right now, like so much better than when we first started. That would be amazing. And that's a sign that this whole workout is working. So, once you've done that and your hips are feeling a little bit better, a little looser, we're going to get right back into round 3. But before we do that, I got to remind everybody that we do this every single day to practice consistency, to build some community, to make stretching a little bit more fun, to make the suffering parts a little less miserable. And hopefully, with that, it's easier for you to keep coming back, to keep practicing consistency, have fun while you're doing it, and we can together make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals, or at least some hip mobility. Cool? So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things, get notified, and keep coming back. Because we are here every day, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, with that spiel over, let's get into the third and final round of some side splits. Again, go visit your best friend, the wall. Let's spread those legs, fold forward, put the hands down, externally rotate, and sit our butts back. Walk the hands back towards the hips. Breathe. Try not to hold your breath. And one last wiggle to break that last bit of friction, holding your legs back. And it's time to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. You might have noticed if you put your hands out in front of you, your hips might rotate underneath you. And if you put your hands closer to right underneath your legs, maybe your toes point straighter up into the air. If you put your hands really far back, you're basically starting to sit down with a really wide leg position, right? These are technically all slightly different stretches, but they are very closely related because you can get into them basically just by shifting your hips forward or back. And there's a combination of the straddle, the pancake, and the side splits. So if at any time it feels a little uncomfortable, you need to take a break, you don't want to get out of the position, you can just shift your weight into a slightly different stretch. So slightly different muscles are taking on the burden. Cool? Okay, I have absolutely completely lost track of how many seconds we've done. So let's just do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk those hands forward, bring the legs in. Oof. This is the third round, so it might be harder to bring the legs in this time. Take some nice big deep breaths. It's done. We're done. Let's do a couple of loosening drills. Do some shaky, and then joint checks, and then we are wrapped up for today. All right. Start nice and slow with the wiggles. Increase the intensity as you feel like you're getting looser and looser. A lot of you will probably default into doing all the work in the knee and flopping back and forth. I want you to try to add a little bit of rotation, nice and gentle. It's going to look a little weird. It's going to feel a little weird because this is kind of like a strange sensation, but it's basically the chiller version of doing this. All right, so just wiggle, flop, shake, relax those muscles. When your legs are starting to feel a little bit more normal, remember we got hands too. Flop them around, flop, 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 flop. I'm exaggerating a lot of the time, a little bit, so that you get the idea. But that's it. I hope your legs are relaxed. Let's do the joint checks. Hip circles, high knees, mini squat. Pressure in the knees, pressure in the ankle, pressure in the feet and toes. Do some calf raises, and once you've done all those things, pretty much the joints working in their main angles are working. So we can call it for today. Those are the side splits. That's the side splits live. And oh man, we wrapped up in under 57 minutes, even though we have a whole bunch of technical difficulties. This is incredible. Whew, okay. I am back at the chat, ready to answer some questions. I think I was away for a while because we had so many technical difficulties, but I wanted to make sure we got through the stretches first before I got distracted and just talked at your faces more. So that we can do the consistency thing first. All right. All right. I am scrolling. Um, Thank you, Rodion Romanovic, for letting me know about the microphone not working so well. I appreciate you letting me know on YouTube. And Eduardo, welcome back. Thanks for always being here. 223DMR7, welcome back. It's good to see you as well. All right. I think that is most of YouTube. Let's scroll down and check out what's going on. Travel with Roxy says the final countdown. Yes, yes, indeed. Mishika says, "You must be a great swimmer. Look at that ankle mobility." I'm actually a horrible swimmer. It has absolutely nothing to do with ankle mobility. I think it's just that all the rest of the swimming part that I'm really bad at. Um, yeah, I wish I was. Maybe I should spend more time training swimming and not just doing side splits. Okay, I am scrolling. JJ asks, "How do prepare for straddles?" Great question. Straddles are basically you can use the wall again as your best friend. Trying to keep this upper body nice and straight and aligned, and then opening up your legs really, really wide. That's basically a straddle, right? And there's a couple of things you can do to prepare for the straddles. The adductors are obviously going to hold you back, right? They're the muscles. Their job is to pull your legs to the center of your body and do this. So when you stretch them out, they're going to be really unhappy and they're going to start getting really tense and fighting you. The other place where you're going to feel the stretch is here, but not because you're feeling the stretch, because these are muscles that have a job, and that job is to pull your legs out. So these muscles are fighting these muscles in order to control your leg position. So on one hand, you want these muscles to relax, you want these muscles to contract. That is for most adults. If you're like a super young, super flexible gymnast, cheerleader type girly, uh, you might have a different problem where you're like super flexible, but you have very little control because you don't have the strength to control the position. For that, I don't think you have this problem, right? So here we are in basically a straddle position. You want basically the ankles to go back towards our wall here, and it's really hard to do that. So one of the ways to practice the straddle is basically a side split stretch or a pancake. Instead of folding more and focusing on bringing the hips down, you're just letting the legs get further and further apart, and gravity is pulling you down. Cool? That's the straddle in two moves and little other explanation. Whew. Okay, scrolling through the chat. Scrolling. I'm gonna try and go back a little bit so that I can be fair to the people who commented really early ago, and I have been all the way over there for. Anna says you're very entertaining. Haha. Okay, cool. I got back to the compliment. So this is where I left. Darling Demure says my first time doing instead of watching too. Hey, this is awesome. This is incredible. Thank you for watching first off, and I hope through all the different iterations of the video that you have heard, you've learned enough that you feel pretty confident going into each of the stretches, because I try my best to cover the most important things, but on certain days I'll just remember something to say about something, and the information is never super complete on one day, and it takes a couple of days to cover pretty much all the things that I usually say. And I hope that means you know everything. And now when you come into the stretches, you're going to crush them. Cool. That was coming from Darling Demure. Blood Type Fit says, mobility is key. I'll be joining in when I'm not working. Mobility is good. It's very useful. And I'm sorry that you're working. But making money is also kind of important and also very useful. So you gotta figure out your balance. I understand, but I'd appreciate it if you were here. Okay, I'm just kidding. Make sure you do all that work. Joni says I'm trying and failing to do this on my bed. Yes. So a lot of these stretches are going to be a little bit difficult if you're doing on something soft, and that is because uh, that elasticity, the bounce in the cushions, is going to make it so that when you squish into one place, the rest of your body is going to like try to keep you stable and counter adjust a lot. And then that counter adjustment will cause you to start bouncing back the other way. This is my assumption. I haven't stretched on a bed, but I think if you're on a squishy surface, you're going to do a lot of adjusting because you're ending up in a position that you're not really expecting to get into. It will soften some things, it'll make them more comfortable, but it also reduces the stability of the situation. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. I don't know why I stood up. I was really excited. So, in general, actually, Joni and Neo, if you want to soften and make a stretch a little bit more comfortable, grab a cushion. Give yourself a little bit of padding. And there are stretches that are good on the bed. I think typically they're probably going to be stretches that you don't need any balance for. When we're doing the side splits, you're like kind of shifting your weight back and forth and like you're trying to stabilize and focus on a very specific stretch. So if you're like kind of waving back and forth because the bed is flexing underneath you as you shift your weight, it's going to be hard to focus on the stretches. So that makes total sense that you're struggling a little bit. You're just gonna have to do them on the floor, I think. Okay, let's keep going. Slow paced asked, "Do you do calisthenics?" I do calisthenics. Am I consistent? No, not at all. And you know that's kind of funny coming from the guy who's like practice consistency, and I have my spiel to keep you practicing consistency like 4 times a week. I don't at the moment have like particularly strong strength goals. I do have concerns about my hip mobility and a little bit of some low back, old injuries, and a little bit of like knee discomfort. So, for the most part, because I don't want to spend 4 hours working out, doing all the things, I'm prioritizing the flexibility, doing the lives, doing this thing, plus giving my knees and back a little bit of extra love. But for the last month, I guess I haven't done that much calisthenics, but the 2 months prior to that, I did a ton and I made a bunch of content on it on the YouTube Shorts, on the TikTok side, and on the Instagram side. So if you're interested in those things, I can talk about them. The live where we do side splits isn't usually the place where I would talk about too much calisthenics, but in the Q&A, in the post part, I'm happy to answer any questions or talk about things if you want a little bit of that. Let me know. Oh, Trevor was actually responding for me. So he said, yes, he does, just not during the live, but check out his TikToks. Great. Thank you. Said exactly what I need to say. Joni said, is this the last stretch? This is the last stretch before he does the splits. Oh, yes. Yes. We were talking about the figure 4. Joni says, the splits? Oh, okay. I don't think I've done a good job. We do live that ends with the side splits. Yeah, and we do 3 rounds of them, so it's even more intense than that. But now you know that because you've stayed to the end, I assume. Okay. Wow, travelers are actually in here pulling weight because I have been way over there not responding to messages. Thank you very much. I feel like oh, okay. Juni's gonna do the stretches in the future. Lovely. Okay. I'm gonna scroll back down. We had a whole bunch of people follow today. This is awesome. Michika, thank you for following, and thank you for the compliment about my ankle mobility. I know I just flop around like crazy, right? It's sometimes a little bit scary, but you know sometimes I'm also exaggerating when I'm flopping. I'm like I need you to show you that you can be very very relaxed, and this is what it could potentially look like. Okay, I think with that we are all the way through the chats. thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for practicing consistency with me today. I hope you feel really proud of yourself. I hope you feel like that was an awesome stretch. Actually, before we stop, I'm gonna just double check. Ooh, yeah, those hip cars feel good, real smooth. I'm gonna check the side where I usually have that weird hip thing. Oh, I still have that weird hip thing, but it feels like I have a lot of control. Okay, cool. All right, that's it. Oh, Run Kimmy says or asks, "Hello. So, what days of the week are you on? I keep missing your classes. I am on every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, for if right now for me it's 10:13. So I started an hour and 13-ish minutes ago. Usually, if there's some technical difficulties, things I'm fumbling with, I might be 3 minutes ish late. Right now, the live, yeah, is about that time. So an hour ish ago every single day. I don't think I've missed one in a while, in a couple months. So that is a pretty reliable time. And on TikTok, I'm trying to be very consistent about putting the live and have it scheduled on the profile. So most of the time, you should be able to go and hit that and join the live from there on the profile. Cool. All right. I think with that, I'm actually officially done with all of the comments. So it's time to wrap up and let you guys go do whatever else you gotta do for today. I hope you had fun. I hope you feel like you stretched very successfully. Ooh, my back is still cracking. And I hope to see you tomorrow because we're gonna be here practicing consistency. Cool. All right, that's it from me for today. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye bye.